Irreverent, entertaining, cool. You're listening to LA Talk Radio.
You're listening to Reza Riffs with Keith Reza and Alan Lee, right here on LA Talk Radio.
Hey Rifters, this episode of Reza Riffs is sponsored by Taco Brat, the hottest new restaurant in Costa Mesa that's taking over Orange County. Taco Brat is our sponsor. They are literally the only German-Mexican, yes, it's a real thing, restaurant in the entire nation, with an atmosphere of a family barbecue, but with gourmet tacos and sausages that even foodies like yourself will want to set your phone cameras down just to eat. You can get a taste of the full and inventive menu and unique dining experience at www.tacobrat.com. And make sure you try their nachos. Thanks, and back to the show. Excellent. How's it going? I'm Keith Reza. My trusty sidekick, Alan Lee, is in New York visiting his mom, so he'll be back next week. But you can't have a show without trusty sidekicks, so I brought two trusty sidekicks. I brought my friend Jacob. This is where you say hi, Jacob.
Hi, Jacob.
Hi,
Talking to the microphone, bud.
You're talking to the microphone. Jacob's very shy.
Hi, Jacob.
Hi. We feel like Jacob might have Asperger's.
Yeah, jury's still out on that. We'll let JJ decide on that.
Yeah. But no, Jacob's a good friend of mine. I've known Jacob since high school. He drives me around and stuff, and he's trying to do stand-up comedy as well. Right?
That's right.
Yeah. And then my other trusty sidekick is a very funny comedian who I've known for a couple years. He's very funny. He just opened for me. Grant Smith.
Thank you. Thanks for having me on. I wish I had a driver like you. I had no idea you had a driver. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh,
wait,
we're not the guests?
No, you're the trusty sidekicks.
Oh. Okay.
Do you guys know what sidekicks are?
Now I do.
Okay, yes. Here's what a sidekick does. Basically, I ask a question to our guest, and they answer.
Which is not us.
It's not you guys.
Okay.
No. So I ask a question to our guest, and they respond, and then you laugh if it's funny, and then you respond with something like, oh, yeah, and then like a little short, and then I take over and be like,
Oh.
Basically, if we're talking sports, I'm Kobe, you're Derek Fisher, you're Robert Horry. You guys hit big shots, but when it all comes down, it's all on me.
Yeah, you give me 0.4, though, I can work with that.
Yeah. Is that good with you, Jacob?
That's fine by me.
All right, so Jacob's on board. What about you, Grant?
Oh, I'm Derek Fisher. I'm ready to beat up someone's wife or beat up somebody for their wife.
Jesus. That was a little sports joke for you.
Matt Barnes. I like the guy.
We are going to call the great Jacob Young, who is going to do the podcast. Jacob Young is on Young and the Restless, right?
That's right.
Young and the Restless. He does...
Hung out with him at the Tropicana.
Tropicana. He also does
Ooh, cool dude.
The Laugh Factory. No, he performed country music at the Laugh Factory.
No.
Which one?
Laugh Factory about
at the
Tropicana. We all hung out with him.
Because while we wait for a call-in, we talk about something interesting, and then usually the guest calls in and we stop talking about that, leaving the audience with like, oh my God, what was the point?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So last week we were talking about snakes. You remember how you were telling me how like this, if you cut off its head, it keeps on like moving and stuff?
Yeah, it's really creepy.
Yeah. I told Alan Lee that. He didn't believe me.
I thought it was only its tail.
That too.
So if you cut off
can you cut off any part of a snake and it still lives? Like what? Like,
yeah.
What an impressive creature.
Yeah.
What about an eel? Same thing with an eel?
It's the snake of the sea. I don't know.
That's what I'm saying.
It's the snake of the sea.
Is it not?
That's true.
What if there was an electric snake?
Yeah.
God. Okay. What's scarier? Python, cobra, anaconda, or hypothetical electric snake?
I would be more scared of an anaconda, actually.
Electric snake sounds like West Hollywood's latest
sorry,
dance craze.
I'll put my pants back on. Okay, now do you want to change your answer?
I would still be scared of an anaconda.
Wow.
What about you, Jacob?
Anaconda's pretty terrifying. Pretty
What?
terrifying.
Electric snake by far. That's like a rattlesnake on electricity. So
Yeah. Wait, what?
I can't imagine how scary an electric snake would be. I imagine like one of those sign wider things, but like electric.
Yeah.
That can just shock you to death like poor Steve Irwin. R.I.P.
It's funny about Steve Irwin because he was
Nothing's funny about Steve.
No,
Okay.
but what's funny is like he's
No.
the crocodile hunter, but he died by like a jellyfish or something, right?
No, it's a stingray.
Yeah, a stingray.
He got a stingray to the guy. You know,
What?
thank you because you
How-
know I love talking about myself. Can
Yeah.
you ask me
How-
questions?
Yeah. How long have you been doing stand-up comedy?
You see, a lot of people ask me that, and I don't mean to be insensitive when I say this, but a lot of people treat their first open mic experience as like a sobriety date. And I myself went to rehab, got my whole 180 whatever days and chips and da-da-da-da-da. So I know what that feeling is like, but I don't have like that exact date. So I somewhere in between 2 or 3 years, because I know that I started around 20 and I'm 23 now.
So that would be 3 years.
Yeah. Do you do the math for the listeners on this show? For the rifters?
I do.
For the riffraff?
I could
you
do.
don't call them riffraff, do you?
I could do
that's-
easy math, like in my head, like
Oh, yeah?
20 plus 3 on 23.
Jacob, test him. I don't
I
believe
can't, I can't do like people think a lot of people with Asperger's can do like hard math in their head, like Rain Man or something.
Yeah.
I can't do that. I have like a different form of Asperger's.
Well, then what good are you, Jesus?
What?
Whoa.
If you can't beat the house with your mind,
It's funny that you say Jesus
the
because
point?
he kind of looks like Jesus.
That's true.
Yeah, and you guys are in for a disappointment if I actually am Jesus. I don't know if I am or not, but that's the truth.
There
I
you go.
do look, I do resemble people's Lord and Savior.
There you go.
I'm not going to argue with that. It's not the worst heckle somebody can get, right?
It's not.
One of the worst / best ones I got was I look like a shot out Johnny Depp.
Oh, that's cool.
Recently, my girlfriend said I look like an anorexic Russell Brand. So I said, why don't you just say
More
Russell
anorexic?
Brand? Yeah.
Oh, you do look like Russell Brand. I could see that.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
All right. Well, we're calling the great Jacob Young.
Yo,
Hey, Jacob. What's up, buddy?
are we live right now?
We're live right now. We're on the podcast. So
We are live.
Well, if y'all don't, I mean, and I'm sure y'all who's listening, they already know how funny you are.
Yeah.
One of my close boys, and incredibly talented.
Oh,
Man, I'm happy to be here.
that's very sweet of you. I've been trying to get you in the studio, and luckily, we're close. I was like, I'll just call Jacob. But Jacob, the people who are also hosting the show is Grant Smith, who's another stand-up comedian. He's co-hosting today because the regular co-host is on a plane, and I need a co-host.
That's not a metaphor or euphemism or anything. Hi, Jacob Grant Smith. Nice to meet you.
And then we got Jake from Vegas. You met Jake in Vegas.
Tall, goofy.
Yes,
looking
sir.
white
How are you
dude.
doing?
Doing well, Jacob Young. How are you, sir?
I'm good. Nice to talk to you again
Yeah, we got real
over
drunk.
the phone. Beep, 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 beep.
Now, Jacob, I have a question for you. What's it like working on a soap opera? Like, because that's what you do. You're an actor, but you're on a very hit soap opera, and you've been on it for, what, 17 years or something? You've been on it for...
Well, no, I've been in the daytime genre for 20 years,
Uh-huh.
Real
but
deal.
off and on doing everything else in between. From making music to doing Broadway to primetime film, a little everything. But what is it like?
Yeah.
Well, don't let my wife hear you say this, but there's a lot of pretty girls on the show, so it makes it a little hard to concentrate at times.
Does your wife get jealous of it, or like
After 17 years?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, of course. I mean, like she knows that it's. I mean, they're selling candy. You know, I mean, that's the whole. I mean, forget about having integrity and writing and things that everybody like. We're like, hey man, I want some complex story that really moves me. Well, this is not that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's there are days where it becomes very it becomes very good, and people go, well, this is what it used to be like 20-some years ago. But there's only flashes in the pan. And now, if you're asking me about what my wife thinks about that, she knows. And the good thing is that we all meet each other. We always make sure that I'm like, hey, by the way, this is my co-star. This is the person I'm working with, and I love my wife. I love her like to no end, and she's just awesome.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be where I am without her.
Yeah, because you also do country singing, and a lot of your songs are about your wife. And I saw you in Vegas, and they were great.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, we all, like, whether you're a comedian, whether you're a journalist, whatever, we pull from the things that we're most passionate about.
Mm-hmm.
And I pull from the things I'm most passionate about. And one of those things happens to be my family.
Yeah.
It's not only my family, but it's particularly the woman who helps me with my family is my wife. And she, every song should be dedicated to her, for sure.
Yeah.
That's not a bad muse to have.
Yeah, that's pretty good. You're actually a very talented country singer, too. When I saw you at Vegas, I was like, oh, my God, this is like a young Billy Joe Shaver. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you, man. I appreciate that.
I'm sure the riffers.
I'm sorry, I'm still winded. I was just playing out. He called me. I was outside playing with my son and playing football. And I have some friends that are in town visiting me.
Yeah.
I'm actually from Santa Barbara here in Utah, and so I was just catching my breath. But thank you so much. I really do appreciate that.
Yeah, Jacob, we have a Twitter question. Do you like Twitter questions?
It depends on how much you're going to Twitter my thoughts.
That's a weird
tweet on my thoughts.
That's a weird way to set up. Do you like Twitter questions?
No, because a lot of people don't like Twitter questions. They're like, oh, we actually like.
Can you differentiate a Twitter question?
I'm willing to delve into it, and it just depends. Go ahead, shoot away. Let's see where we get.
All right, Twitter question from I can't read his name, but it's a lot of weird explanation.
From nobody.
No. The name is TF4.
Keith, can we let him behind the curtain a little bit?
Yeah.
I tweeted this question.
What,
okay, then ask him the question since he tweeted it.
Well, all right, fine. All right. So Jacob, you there?
He tweeted the question and he doesn't know his question.
I'm here.
What are you talking about?
Go. Okay.
So, like, how do you deal with, like, the quote unquote, tabloid talk and the cliche hate things that people say, like, about soap stars especially, because us comics can be extremely thin-skinned? Do you just
say it one more time, brother?
So like
say it one more time.
So you know how, like, obviously the tabloids will, like, attack people for the most nonsensical reasons, but soap opera stars especially. And us comics can be
the same thing? Is that what you're asking?
No, I'm saying us comics can be extremely thin-skinned. So how do you deal with it? Do you have to deal with it, or is everything that you hear positive?
I mean, like anybody, okay? Like, it doesn't matter. Like today, everybody's got the social media book in their hands, right? Mm-hmm. Everybody can hide behind a phone. Everybody can live behind a computer. Everybody can be holding their, genitalia in their palm of their hands as they're writing some sort of profanity that is some sort of derogatory message towards the people that they actually probably reality-based, they actually probably love. Otherwise, they wouldn't be taking the time, right?
They're going
it's weird, right? who the hell does it if they didn't really give a shit?
Yeah.
But with that said, it happens on all levels. I mean, I read stuff and I just try to tune them off, and I try not to even engage. I quit Twitter for a long time based upon that, because I was like, all this is just a bunch of hate. Between two nice comments is 10 hate mail. Things. It doesn't matter what you post or whatever your thoughts are.
Yeah,
it bothered me. So I never decided to delve into that myself. And honestly, CBS is they're a big advocate of Twitter, and they want us to do that. And so they actually kind of got me to join. I'm really late in the game on it, to tell you the truth, because I'm kind of a private dude, and I'm not really into caring about what anybody else cares about or thinks about. I like what I like, and I hope that they like what they like, and I want them to live a peaceful life. I just don't think that it's okay for every person to say whatever they want to say whenever they want to say.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I think people think Twitter is a form of the right to free speech, which in a way it is, but it's like the right to freely hate on people.
They're abusing it.
That is the entire. I get it. That's why we do it. It gives everybody a platform for sure.
Yeah, no.
But it becomes intoxicating. It becomes nauseating.
Yeah.
It becomes a disgusting, manifested cesspool of negativity. And gosh, we all have to pull from something positive these days, man. I mean, if we don't have something to look forward to, what do our children, what do our kids, what do our grandchildren have to look forward to? If we're all going to sit there and piss on everybody else all day long, there's just no room for it anymore, man. And we're just killing each other with our toxicity. I say the fuck it. I hate Twitter. I fucking hate Twitter. But it is what it is.
That is the truth.
Now, Jacob, so how you were telling me that you got your start because someone noticed you at Denny's. Is that tell that story, because I thought that was funny.
Hold on. I'm doing an interview. Sorry, brother.
No, it's okay. I was just reminding you of how you were telling me that you got discovered at Denny's. How that.
Yeah. No. I mean that is the truth.
Yeah.
You never know. You never know. It's just one of those things, man. I was, in fact, my mom. She was the one that said, she goes, I was working there. I was a teenager. I was in high school. I was trying to pay for private school tuition, doing it by myself.
Yeah.
And Mom says, well, maybe Aaron Spelling will walk in there. And see just how talented you are. And I said, Mom, Aaron Spelling doesn't eat at Denny's. And she goes, you never know. He could. One day, who knows? But it was funny. It was almost, 2 days later after she said that this, he was like sort of a quasi manager dude, and he's long gone. He passed away several years ago. But I mean, I only worked with him for a short time. But he was the one that kind of kicked in the idea for me. He goes, "Hey, you got a great face. We should do some photo shoots." And he goes, "I know some people in LA and in Hollywood, and we get some work." And I was like, it's funny that you say that, because my mom was just telling me about it.
Yeah, that's like a cool story.
So that's kind of how it happened.
Could you imagine seeing Lorne Michaels at a Carl's Jr.?
I know, that would. Yeah, that's my dream. When I worked at Carl's Jr., I was like, "Oh, Mom, Lorne Michaels is going to come in and get a superstar."
Lorne Michaels.
Yeah,
Lorne Michaels. Yeah, no, I mean, because he eats at Carl's Jr. all the time, and I know exactly Carl's Jr.
Even Hardee's. I heard he fucks with Hardee's too.
You must have been working there.
Yeah, but I mean, he never came in and discovered me. But I mean, I think I have a.
That's because you offered him white wine. You like Chardonnay. I have no idea what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I just picked up Grant because I needed a ride to L.A.
And I had a bus pass.
Yeah.
Well, I get the second best. What the hell?
But Jacob, so you were cast on the show that you're currently on, and then you left, and then you got your part back. Didn't another actor take your part, or?
I mean, they were basically strangling themselves, going, "How did we let this guy go?"
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
6 Emmy nominations later. Why? Why did we let this guy go?
Yeah.
And sure as shit, they called me. They called me on the phone and said, "You know what? How would you feel about maybe, possibly, if you'd like to, come back to the show?" I was like, "Is a bear shit in the woods? Is
Maybe,
bullfrog's ass watertight?"
Yeah.
And I said, "Hell yeah, I'm on. I'm on. Let me come back and let me show you what I can do now." I mean, it was flash forward 15 years later.
Yeah.
And I had, Broadway, film, prime time. I had everything under my belt. And I was like, you guys, you know what you're in for now.
Now, was it easier for you to get back into the character, or do you feel that character was you the entire time?
Well, the weird thing is that they had another dude step into the character after I left, and there was all this backstory, and it was just lame. And I was like, God, I can't even relate to it. Why would the character do that?
Right.
They had created this whole past. So I came in and I was like, yeah, it could be hard. It could be difficult to step into it. But I just decided to create my entire, as if, knowing that those things existed, but as if he had some sort of like long-term amnesia and he's coming back as a brand new man, and I brought him back brand new.
Yeah.
And the first year I was back, they nominated me for an Emmy again. So obviously, whatever I was doing was the right move.
Yeah.
You can't base a character on, especially somebody else has played it. You can't do that. It's horrible. You can't sit there and spin your wheels thinking, would he have done it this way? How did he do it?
Yeah.
That just doesn't make any sense. Especially not for an actor or a comedian or anybody. We got to make our own path.
Yeah. I was telling you that I think you should do stand-up comedy because I think you're very funny. And you said
I'm
you like
pretty
singing.
cynical and I'm pretty pissed off, so I think it'd probably be pretty good.
Yeah. I think we should write you an entire act because you and I wrote a screenplay that we're trying to sell, but we should write a comedy act for you so we could do the comedy.
Well, this is true, and you are so freaking talented, first of all, and so funny.
Oh, thank you so much.
You busted me up, when we were in Las Vegas, hanging out together. Your act is awesome. And yes, I think that sounds like a great idea because, you know what the hell? I got nothing to...
Yeah.
I'm not holding back. I mean, I'm not trying to prove anything to anybody, but I'll get up on stage. If they boo and hiss me off, I'll just give them the middle finger and maybe flash, a little bit of wiener to them. But
but the thing is, like,
maybe they'll laugh at that. I don't know.
but the thing is, like, you could also win a Emmy for stand-up comedy, and I didn't know that until like recently.
Is that possible?
Yeah, they said that people.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah, so Jacob or Jake, there's two J. This is just like Vegas. JM, you were telling me that people win Emmys for stand-up, like Louis C.K., right?
Yeah, the writing does.
Yeah.
I think he won several for his work with Lucky Louie and his other shows. Just fantastic. It's opportunities out there for you if you're willing to work for it.
Yeah, so we got to get you an Emmy for comedy, too, so we could show the world that Jacob Young is not only an Emmy-winning soap opera star, but an Emmy-winning comedian and an Emmy-winning actor.
And you play football, so
well,
you could be...
that sounds like a great plan. I wish I had tits to match it. Because then I wouldn't Emmy for that as well.
Exactly.
But I'm not a girl, so that's it.
All right, well, we got to take a quick 10-second break for our sponsors, and then we're just going to ask you 2 more questions and let you go back playing football. Is that cool, buddy?
That sounds great, brother. Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah. This episode of Reza Riffs is brought to you by the hottest new restaurant in Costa Mesa that's taking over Orange County, California. It's called Taco Brat. It's our sponsor today. They are literally the only germ Mexican, yes, it's a real thing, restaurant in the entire nation with an atmosphere of family barbecue, but with gourmet tacos and sausages that even foodies such as yourself would want to put their cameras down to eat. You can get a taste of this full innovative menu and unique dining experience at www.tacobrat.com. And I suggest you get the tacos, but also the nachos because they are delicious. Back to the show. Hey, Jacob, we're back.
Did you just say sausage?
Yeah, I said sausages. You like sausages?
I love sausage. I love sausages. I mean, not sausages, but I love sausage.
JM has a question for you. We're gonna
maybe one at a time.
Yeah, clarify.
Jake number 2 has a question for Jake number 1. Are you willing to comment on the rumors that you're going to be the star of the next Magic Mike movie that's coming out?
Ooh.
Because Keith really wants to know. He's been talking about it all day.
Yeah.
Wait, what's happening?
Are you willing to comment on the rumors circulating in Hollywood that you're going to be the star of the next Magic Mike movie?
Is that true?
It's true. I heard that rumor.
Keith is blushing.
I did tweet that.
I mean, okay, all right. You guys blew my cover.
Keith's blushing.
I'm in the next Magic Mike.
Keith's been asking all
where
day.
the Magic Mike is going to disappear. That's that's a whole other question. But
Oh God, I can't wait.
That's you know what's weird about the Magic Mike movies is even though they're chick flicks, I actually saw them and I thought they were pretty funny.
They're chick flicks?
Yeah.
I had no idea.
actually, I felt like I was a chick at a bachelorette party
Yeah.
when I watched them.
Really?
I felt kind of. I was really engaged. I was like, "Yes, get it, girl, get it." Yes.
My favorite part in that, which I think is it was so funny because it's not even a joke, but Matthew McConaughey, is that how you say his name?
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah, Matthew McConaughey, he was in
That actor
I'm
nobody knows.
always a McConaughey.
Yeah.
Hey, it'd be
McConaughey.
a lot cooler if you did.
Hey.
Yeah. But like my favorite part is when he's like
Get it right.
he's like, ladies, the law is you can't touch. But I see a lot of lawbreakers out here.
Oh man, what a spot on McConaughey. What a spot on McConaughey.
Keith actually lifted his shirt and rubbed his
Yeah.
Linfield belly button as he said
Jacob,
that.
if you could see this.
But like that's just so funny. Like so when I saw it, I'm just cracking up, and all these hot chicks are just looking at me like I'm gay or something. I was like, oh no, that's a great joke.
What's wrong with that?
No, there's nothing wrong with that.
No.
But
Well, look. I mean, it's not a problem that they look at you that way.
yeah.
It's a problem if they think you're that way.
Oh, that's
So then you're not going to get any action.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh,
Hey.
Speaking of hot movies that make people sweat, the hot movies that make I think guys sweat was a movie that you were actually in called The Girl Next Door.
Oof.
You remember that?
what a cult classic that movie is.
Yeah.
And not
That's
because I was in it. And by the way, if anybody was paying attention to the opening credits, I'm making out with Olivia Wilde.
I know.
Who,
shit.
by the way, was the casting director, the assistant casting director to an unknown, perhaps a maybe lesbian casting director that she was working for. That she got a part in the movie because she was also working for that particular casting director. And anyway, so there's a whole opening montage, and you'll see me actually kissing Miss Olivia Wilde, who I absolutely adore, love. She's amazing, and she deserves everything that she has. But isn't it funny how Hollywood works?
Small world.
Makes me scratch my head.
Yeah, but you know what? You could honestly say that you're one of the guys who've kissed her.
Magic Mike 3. Olivia goes.
Yeah, no, I still have a little bit on my mustache. I just leave it there for a
Doesn't
second,
wash
just
that
so I
part.
can.
Get the wife jealous.
Is that Aaron Rodgers,
Who?
Olivia? That's Aaron Rodgers, Olivia?
Who's Aaron
I'm
Rodgers?
sure.
Who's Aaron Rodgers?
Guys,
Jesus.
I didn't know if this was a rated R podcast or I can just say whatever I want, but I'm going to say whatever I want.
Yeah, say whatever you want, man. Freedom of speech. That's what I say.
Just like Twitter.
It's just like Twitter. But no, was she married to Aaron Rodgers?
I don't know. I know that.
No,
I know,
no.
Is that,
No,
I know-
she was sleeping with the casting director.
Oh yeah,
There you go.
that's what I'm saying.
I mean, she was actually.
Is
she was
Olivia
working
Munn
as
the one who?
assistant casting director.
Okay, is
You heard it
there a
here
woman
first.
named
All right.
Olivia Munn?
It doesn't matter. He said Olivia Wilde. I'm sure there's
Okay,
someone.
now I'm just stuck on this. Sorry.
All right, just. This is Grant Smith, guys.
But by the
Yeah,
way,
I'm out.
the movie was a lot of fun to shoot. The Girl Next Door, a classic teenage coming of age comedy.
Jacob Young, guys, for those of you who is our guest, you could follow him on Twitter, which he never goes on. Don't give him hate mail because he doesn't like it, and no one actually likes hate mail. You can follow Jacob at Twitter at Jacob-W-Young, and follow him on Twitter and give him some followers. He also does country singing, and he has a new album coming out in the summer, so it's going to be awesome. Jake, you saw him do singing, wasn't he just
It
fantastic?
was fantastic.
Yeah.
From what I remember, because we were all shitty drunk that trip. That was so much fun.
I wasn't drunk. I don't drink.
You were. You pounded back those. What are those pussy drinks you drink again? The
Daiquiri?
No, pussier than that.
Jesus.
I have no idea what Jacob's talking
The
about.
Diet Coke with a little splash of
Grenadine?
Roy Rogers?
yeah, grenadine and a little
don't-
splash of vodka.
Dude, Roy Rogers are dank.
Yeah, but there's no. Yeah, when you say drinking, like,
You're out of line by
like
saying
I'm,
Roy Rogers are...
like I
You wash your
do,
mouth.
I do drink heavy on the Diet Coke and the
You got a heavy
and the
pour of Diet
grenadine.
Coke.
No, you know what was weird is because
Heavy
like
man.
the manager at the club, Harry Basil, who's a great guy,
Yeah.
he called me every single night after the shows because he'd be like, why? Like on Wednesday, he had to buy me more grenadine because like Monday and Tuesday ran out. Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So Friday he calls me. And I was like, "Hey Harry, what's up?" And he's like, "Why am I buying grenadine like crazy?"
Grenadine cherry syrup. You were a cherry syrup fan,
And I was
dude.
like, I don't know. I think other people drink it. And he's like, no, they say that you're the only one drinking. I was like, what? He's like, yeah, Fraser Smith said you drink a whole bottle of that every show.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was like,
rat it out.
you're making it sound like that's a bad thing.
Come on, Fraser.
You know?
Rat it out by the Frasier man.
But, it's weird because it's like one of those things, like I saw a homeless guy driving the other day. No, not like I was driving. Like the homeless guy.
Yeah.
Like the homeless guy wasn't driving.
Okay.
He wasn't driving. I was driving. So I was driving the other day, and I saw a homeless guy, and I was with my mom, so I gave him money, and my mom's like, I gave him like $30. You know what I mean? All the
Holy
money I
shit.
have.
Very generous.
He's
Yeah.
homeless around you.
It's because I'm trying to get into heaven. You know?
Okay.
Yeah. Like I've had a couple bad years of sin, so I'm trying to.
Oh, that's how it works?
Yeah. I'm trying to pay off my sins.
Hey.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So how'd that go for you?
Well, I'm about to tell you, but then so I gave this homeless guy $30, and my mom's like, he's just gonna spend that on booze and drugs. And I was like, it's better than giving it to Dad. He's gonna spend it on prostitution and earplugs. Grant Smith doesn't like that joke.
Wait, I just don't know. Is your dad the homeless guy?
That's how you kill a joke, ladies and gentlemen.
These are the jokes, folks.
These are the jokes.
Great David Letterman.
What would we do without Grant Smith,
just
man?
kidding, Keith.
We call him the joke killer.
No.
For now,
No, that
for
was,
now on.
That was funny.
For now, no, I don't care anymore. For now,
Okay.
you're getting a riff now, dude.
We call Grant Lolocaust because
For now on, when Grant-
the jokes in mass.
For now on, when Grant says, "Keith, I want to co-host the show,"
Oof.
I'm gonna be like, "No." He's gonna be like, "Why not?" I was like, "Cause you killed 3 jokes." I was like, "You killed the Olivia Wilde joke."
I thought we were serious about that.
I am serious.
Deadly
You killed it.
serious.
They hear about her, not Aaron Rodgers.
And then,
You guys are the one who's stuck on Aaron Rodgers, not me.
Well, you put sexy images of him in our heads. What are you going to do?
That's the personal problem.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm asking you to help us out here.
like I have an image of Aaron Rodgers shirtless throwing a football.
Oh, yeah, man.
That's not my problem.
It is because you said Aaron Rodgers. It's like, why couldn't you say Ryan Fitzpatrick or something? That way I'm like, oh, he's not a handsome dude, but he's obviously
Yeah.
talented.
So
Yeah,
Aaron
well,
Rodgers
debatable.
Aaron Rodgers is like,
So, and then you killed the prostitution homeless guy joke.
well, oh, okay. I'm glad you ended joke to that.
Yeah. So usually, what we do when we end the show is we promote what Alan Lee has coming up because he's just a phenomenal stand-up and
Prostate exam.
no.
Oh my God.
He actually announced that he didn't say prostate exam, but I was like, Alan Lee, do you have anything coming up? And he's like, well, on Friday I'm going to go to the movies and see Deadpool. And,
Whoopty shit, Alan. Hey, you know what I'm going to do tonight is jerk off. How about I announce that to the fucking world? Nobody cares. Everyone knows.
No.
It smells like chlorine 24/7.
No, everyone cares. But you're like a joke killer too. So like, so I was like, okay, so you're seeing Deadpool on Friday. What are you doing on Saturday? And then he's like, oh, I'm probably going to see it again.
It's a good movie.
It's a great movie.
Yeah.
All right, guys. One more time, let's give a thank you to our sponsors, and then we'll say our goodbyes. Our sponsors of today's show is the hottest new restaurant in Costa Mesa that has taken over Orange County, Taco Brat. It's our sponsor today. They're literally the only German-Mexican, yes, it's a real thing, restaurant in the entire nation, with an atmosphere of family barbecue, but with gourmet tacos and sausages that even foodies set their cameras down to eat. You can get a taste of the full innovative menu and unique dining experience at www.tacobrat.com. And their nachos are delicious. I went there the other day, and I'm probably going to go there after tonight.
Yeah, that sounds pretty good, actually.
To, apologize for Grant Smith's joke killing.
All this Aaron Rodgers talk makes me want to put a wiener in my mouth real bad. Excuse me, a brat in my mouth real bad. Real bad, if you know what I mean.
What?
Oh, I thought we were on the same wavelength there, my bad.
This is ridiculous.
See, at least I know when to stop.
See, at least Grant knows. All right, Grant Smith, do you have anything coming up this weekend?
No, I'm not going to plug my own podcast, but you can follow me on Twitter.
Plug your own podcast.
Yeah, go
You
nuts.
sure?
Yeah, go
Alright,
nuts.
I have a podcast. It's called An Ounce Short.
Which I've done.
Yeah, Keith has been a guest on it. He's great. I'm in my second season. I wish I could be as successful as Reza Riffs. Maybe one day. We'll see. But yeah, we're on SoundCloud, iTunes, pretty much everything except Spotify. And that's An Ounce Short. And then you can follow me on the social medias at Grant Smith, but instead of a G, it's a 6.
I'm Keith Reza, guys. We'll be back next week with Alan Lee. And, yeah. Thanks, Rifters.
You're listening to Reza Riffs with Keith Reza and Alan Lee, right here on LA Talk Radio.